Donald Trump and Marc Carney met yesterday, and it was the slimiest meeting I think I've ever witnessed. And I have a clip for us to react to. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel for Wednesday, May 7th. I hope you're all having a great day, staying warm, enjoying the spring weather. And today we're going to talk about yesterday's meeting between Donald Trump and Marc Carney. It was covering a range of topics, including trade, which Donald Trump is not backing off of anything. He says that that the States doesn't need Canadian cars and Canadian energy and Canadian, anything. And Carney was just quietly like, oh, well, but you do. We're your biggest client, sir. It was almost like he was afraid of having another moment like what happened with Zelensky in the White House back in February. And honestly, had there been a moment like that where Carney had gotten a little bit heated and actually stood up for Canadians, I might have respected him a little bit more. But he was so afraid of ruffling Donald Trump's feathers and offending him that he basically just licked his boots, which I'm not surprised because Carney is basically Trump light. That's my assertion. He is very much like Donald Trump, sees things very similarly to Donald Trump. And it's very obvious when you look at the way he reacts to things that Trump says. He kind of just laughs it off and brushes it off and, oh, well, the Canada's not for sale, sir. I've spoken with the owners of Canada, meaning us, the general public. But it's very cringy the way he puts it. I've got a clip here for you guys to listen to. It pretty much illustrates the way that the meeting went, and I'm gonna play it for you now, and we're gonna react to it afterwards.
Mr. President, you had said that Canada should become the 51st state. Were you joking?
No. Well, I still believe that, but it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, as a real estate developer, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said, that's the way it was meant to be. But, I do feel it's much better for Canada. But we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
And that's we're gonna listen to Marc Carney in a second, but that is some of the most ridiculous talk I've ever heard, and it's so rambly. We make fun of Joe Biden for rambling, but Trump, he just kind of goes on and on and on and on, and it's very hard to follow, and I think he does this on purpose. He rambles with intent, I think. He rambles to confuse people. And the way he says, oh, you'd have a free military if you were to ever have a problem. Ha, ha, ha. What the hell? How kind of mob boss nonsense is that? And we already have a military, thank you very much. We don't need your military. Here's Marc Carney's response.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the President just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the President has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have.
And that was Marc Carney trying to say that Canada is not for sale. He sounds so beaten down. He sounds so just intimidated and determined not to step on any toes. And it's so sad. I don't want a shouting match in the White House by any means. But I want somebody to come in and have a backbone and look Trump in the face and say, listen, Mr. President, Canada is never going to be the 51st state. I will work with you on other things. I will work with you on trade. But these comments, if you want us to have a working relationship, will stop. Or we will not work with you. That is what needs to be said. Unequivocally. You need to stop making comments about annexing Canada. You are, jokingly or not, talking about an act of war. And we do not appreciate it. Stop. That's what we need from our leader right now. Not whatever the hell that was. And there's an article that I was just looking at where, according to a new poll, Canadians feel in danger traveling to the United States. Gee, I wonder why that would be. Probably because of all the anger and fighting going on down there. It's like I am so sick of this, hearing all these comments and knowing that we have a leader who is so weak and so ineffectual that nothing will be done about it. And the seeds will be sown, and Canada will probably, in some way, have to defend itself from its nearest partner. And this whole talk of, you would have a free military, we already subsidized you to this much money, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, if he thinks that he doesn't need us, we should just pull everything out. We should just stop trading with him. Stop sending over our hydropower. Stop sending over everything and just let him be alone. If he thinks he can go survive without Canada, then we should be like, okay, cool, we'll go trade with other people. You're not the only country on the planet. Why is that not happening? If Trump's gonna shoot off his mouth, because our leader is weak and ineffectual, that's why. Oh, this is so frustrating. Let me know what you guys think down below about the meeting between Marc Carney and Donald Trump. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts below. I always enjoy reading the comments. And like, share, subscribe, buy me a coffee. I've started writing short stories over there. So along with my blog posts, you'll see short stories. So go buy me a coffee. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.